Hello and welcome to the second edition of the Video Daily, the news magazine where we cover the latest news and happenings at PowerGen Europe, Renewable Energy World Europe and Nuclear Power Europe. I'm Dr. Heather Johnston. The pervasive question in our industry today is whether we can meet the European energy challenge and whether the energy policies in place will enable us to do so. These questions were debated today at the plenary panel discussion, which was once again moderated by Stephen Sackur. Let's go and meet Stephen and find out his take on the discussion.
Europe's energy policy means that energy becomes so much more expensive than it is in Asia. Why the hell would you keep your plant in Europe? At some point you'd move it out and you'd move it to a place where power is cheaper.
In your opinion, what were the sort of main messages or key findings that came out of this afternoon's discussion?
I think a measure of uncertainty, political uncertainty, and it's where politics and the sort of the technological capabilities overlap, where you get some of the most interesting debate. And of course, when you're thinking politics, one big factor here was the German government's decision to abandon its civil nuclear power program by 2022. That's really got people in this industry going because it has huge ramifications for the European energy sector more widely. So it's all in a state of flux at the moment. And I come back to this word uncertainty. There is a degree of uncertainty about the investment climate, about the political climate, and about how realistic those targets are.
Now let's turn to the exhibition and visit some of the innovations on the floor.
M&W Group has achieved the milestone of 10 gigawatt photovoltaic production capacity just recently. That means that the total number of production facilities that we have designed and erected worldwide have exceeded a capacity of 10 gigawatt.
One of the most interesting announcements today came from Alstom regarding results from their latest CCS process. We caught up with Philip Pelink. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Alstom released yesterday an extensive cost study on CCS. What we have been showing is that CCS on a commercial plant in 2015 will deliver decarbonized electricity at a cost that is fully competitive with any other solution, including renewables like wind onshore, offshore and solar.
Several companies launched new products at the show today. Let's take a look at some of them.
We announced a new technology way of introducing biomass into traditional coal-fired, PC-fired power boilers by gasification technology.
New component is that the IT systems getting more and more important, and we are acting in that field also. For example, in regarding smart grids, we certify that these are not hacked by hackers.
One of the most important capabilities in the power industry is to build plants and equipment to exacting standards and tolerances. Proof Technic launched 2 new measurement devices responding to these demands. Michael Stolz explains.
This Level Line Expert is a motorized, rotating and self-leveling laser. So the typical application would be that this laser is mounted on a tripod, and with this sensor you are going to measure on several points all over your foundation in order to find out the current condition of your foundation, for example.
Of course, at the moment, one of the hottest of the hot button issues is the nuclear question. Let's turn to David Wagman, Chief Editor of Power Engineering magazine, to get his perspective on this.
Thanks, Heather. The key issues that are being discussed this week at Nuclear Power Europe include financing of new nuclear power plants in the wake of Fukushima, and also the continued commitment by the Europeans to drive CO2 emissions low by 2050. Both of those issues are key. The financing issue, because banks may find it difficult to finance new projects with the increased risk inherent in nuclear construction post-Fukushima. The CO2 emissions limits are also critical because of the commitment that the Europeans continue to have toward driving emissions low. In order to do that, one element that has to be included in the mix is nuclear power, along with renewable energy. And Heather, a third area of importance is with the stress tests for safety that are currently underway in European nations. Speakers have said that it's important to have a coordinated approach to these stress tests. They said that it would be disastrous to have different outcomes in different jurisdictions as these safety tests are underway. Heather, back to you.
Thank you, David. Along with this, other industry leaders offered their insights into the current nuclear debate.
Nuclear power will continue to be part of the energy mix. The world continues to demand energy. Yes, we have a balance of the technologies between nuclear, between thermal fossil. We have the environmental issues and emissions control that are important. We have carbon reduction programs, and we have the growth of renewables. So nuclear plays a part in the provision of electricity to the world's supply today, and it will continue to do for some time in the future.
In Europe, I think things are going to be quite slow for the next few years. But certainly there's a huge amount of nuclear construction taking place in China at the moment, and also in other Asian countries. India's following China. I think the experience of that will come back to Europe, and I think it will be that will be the spur amongst with the environmental and the energy security side that would lead to the true renaissance of nuclear power coming in the future.
And with that, we've come to the end of our report from the second day of PowerGen Europe, Renewable Energy World Europe and Nuclear Power Europe. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, the last day of the event, where we will once again follow the latest technologies and innovations exhibited here. I'm Dr. Heather Johnston. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.